Hi guys, it's me, Andrew Duthie, yet again, and in this video I will be doing a review of the WE M712, a variant of the legendary C96. Look at that. But first, a little bit of history. The Mauser C96 is a semi-automatic pistol that was originally produced by a German arm manufacturer Mauser from 1896 onwards. It was the world's first commercially successful automatic pistol and saw service in dozens of countries around the world, ranging from the UK, Russia and Turkey, as well as Germany itself. However, only the Republic of China ever actually adopted it as its primary service pistol, to which this particular airsoft gun is based on. Throughout its long history, the C96 has seen use by many notable individuals, such as Winston Churchill in the Battle of Omdurman, Han Solo, whose DL-44 blaster was based on the C96, as well as being featured in countless video games, including Fallout 3 shown here and the upcoming Battlefield 1. But let's get back to airsoft, shall we? The WE M712 is a select fire magazine fed gas blowback airsoft gun. It has the option of using integral 10 round magazines and larger 20 round magazines, both of which are proprietary and can't be used with anything else. Externally, it features adjustable sights, a fire selector and a safety, as well as a detachable full-size stock, which can also double as a holster. However, the gun can only be holstered if using the smaller 10-round magazines. In material terms, the M712 features a full metal construction right along and great attention to detail, especially with these Republic of China markings. The only parts that are not metal are the plastic fake wood. But as you can see in this close-up, it is very, very well made. The quality of the fake wood also extends to the stock, where it is very, very, very nice attention to detail, especially with the wood grain. Obviously, it's a bit smooth to the touch, but from a distance, it's nigh indistinguishable from the real thing. As for markings, the gun does come in an option to have markings or not have markings. I took the one with markings because it didn't cost any more to have them, and from my research these actually do correspond with the license-built C96s that were sent to China in the mid-30s for the nationalist government, which is now the government of Taiwan. Moving up to the top here, the M712 features adjustable sights ranging from 50 right the way up to 1000 meters. Now let's be honest, you're not going to be using this in 1000 meters with this airsoft gun or the real one, but this is historical accuracy, and this was a time when adjustable sights were fashionable and used on absolutely everything. As for the sights themselves, very, very, very fine, very, very precise. However, I am questionable of its effectiveness in a chaotic firefight that you would often find in airsoft games. So you're going to have to learn either way. As mentioned before, the M712 features a fire selector, which ranges from 1 to 20, which is fully automatic. Fire selector is actually quite novel and very well made, I would actually consider, as it uses a spring to squeeze down before moving it to the back and then moving it back forward. Quite nice, I like it. Turning over onto the other side, the magazine release is located on the right hand side, ergonomically positioned so that you can pull it out with your forefinger. The hop-up, however, is mounted in quite possibly one of the most difficult hop-ups I've ever met. Now, what you have to do is you have to open it, open the slide, but obviously it can't stay open because unless you use the magazine lock, so as there's no actual external method to hold open the slide. So you get an empty mag, hold it open, remove the mag, and the hop-up is found right the way down here. You see the screw? That is it. Now, this is quite possibly the most disappointing part of the gun, and I understand that such a small hop-up adjuster probably was due to design considerations, because the gun with such a a thin barrel here doesn't lend itself to complex and obvious hop-up knobs. The way to adjust this hop-up would mean getting yourself a very narrow flathead screwdriver and painstakingly twisting it down here. Almost nigh impossible to do in-game or just on the fly unless you have specialized tools, which most airsofters are just not going to have. You know, couldn't they do it with a hex key like on my LA5? I don't know. And now let's talk about the M712's ergonomics, because they do differ quite significantly from the average pistol you would see in the airsoft scene. The first and most obvious issue is that the magwell is situated outside the grip. This will result in the gun feeling a little bit front heavy compared to other contemporary pistols because of the size of the magazine. Obviously this will be lessened by the fact if you use a smaller 10 round magazine, but the issue is magnified with a longer 20 round magazine, which most people will be playing with simply because it has double the capacity. As for ways to actually hold the M712, there are several different stances you could choose from. You could start off with the stance that the pistol was originally designed for, which is simply using one-handed cavalry stance, which works because the grip was designed to be held in that sort of way, which you could say is less of a more comfortable method to fire it, but it's not going to be as accurate. You can do the two-handed stance, which is basically you grip your hand with the other hand, and that will provide a greater firing platform, but you might also suffer from the issue of dealing with the sort of front heaviness of it, and some people might not want that, especially if they have like big hands, you know, not like someone we know. Furthermore though, you can also have the front grip, which is basically using your left or right hand, depends, to hold the magazine well, which will provide a far more stable grouping and all that, but it's not very comfortable. You're going to have a few issues with it. So if you're going to use this gun in a skirmish game, experiment and see which one suits you best. And finally, onto the Chrono. For this test, I'll be using WE 0.25 gram BBs, and the gas I'll be using is RWA Airsoft Surgeon Green Gas, also known as propane, because that's basically what it is. It says in the ingredients. 332 FPS, 340 FPS, 338 FPS, 334 FPS, 326 FPS, 327 FPS, 326 FPS. But now, let's get to actually firing this damn thing. Way to operate the gun is first you insert the magazine, take it off safety through the safety selector right over here. It's not very obvious, so you should look out for it. And then, similar to the Luger that came later on, you pull back the charging handle, and you're ready and set. I'll go and fire a few single shot rounds and then go on full auto, because I know you all love that sort of shit anyway. Alright, ready? Now full auto. Look at that. Overall, I found firing the M712 to be very loud and very satisfying for an airsoft gun. The absence of a full-length slide found on most other pistols means that the M712 has very small moving parts. Means that you almost have no recoil, but yet an extremely instantaneous trigger response with an insane rate of fire on full auto. I mean, the thing is literally quite a beast. This ultimately results in the gun being an extremely skirmishable weapon, despite its awkward and dated ergonomics. It also provides a very unique talking point to many people who will be very interested in such an unusual looking gun. Ultimately, I find the WE M712 to be an excellent addition for anybody interested in historical guns. The hop-up may be an absolute nightmare to adjust, and its ergonomics may not be of this century, or even last century, but in the end, it is a solid performing gun. It fires very snappily, definitely skirmishable, and I fully recommend it for anybody who wants to do a, early 20th century loadout. Go ahead, enjoy it. I'm going to use this probably as my primary sidearm for the time being, and I look very forward to using it more in the field. Thank you very much for listening to this review. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and I'm sure to make some more. Thank you.